All right, now let's talk about the HyperStat Split. So we've already talked about the Connect module. I'll remind you in case you're watching this video by itself. This video, the HyperStat Split, is really meant to be an advanced rooftop controller. What that means is you take over the VFD, the economizer, and all your electromechanical terminations on that rooftop unit. So in the box, we have two primary devices. You have your Connect module, and you have your HyperLight. The Connect module, again, we've talked about it, but we'll talk about it one more time here and just kind of recap. This device is going to be the I/O controller and get mounted inside the rooftop unit or air handler. It comes with a DIN rail mounting bracket and the associated screws, and it comes with two machine screws in case you use the sheet metal bracket that you can order separately. Then you have the HyperLight. The HyperLight comes with itself. It comes with a flush mounting bracket. This actually really is just meant to cover up any holes around the junction box that you have roughed in for this. And then it comes with a packet of screws, little rubber fillers for any holes for the programming switches, and a couple of set screws for security screws. So let's go ahead and talk about how these mount. We'll talk about the Connect module. This is what's going to go in the rooftop unit first. Then we'll talk about the HyperLight, which would be the thermostat down in the space. All right, so again, it's the magnetic cover. I've got my inputs and output terminals around the edge. Those are Pokin style connectors. But primarily that's in a different video if you want to watch the Connect module dedicated. To mount it, I can use my DIN rail mount. I line up the two screws on the bracket with the two screws on the screw holes on the back of the Connect module. I'd put that there, and I would use these tiny machine screws to screw it down. That's one option. The other option is a bracket like this. The benefits of this bracket that's sold separately are these stamped places for zip ties that allows you to get better strain relief out of it. But essentially, you just set that there, and you put the screw through the hole, line it up with your cage nut, and then screw it tight. So that's the Connect module. Now when you're done, you put your magnetic cover back on, and you've got that wired up. So next, let's talk about the HyperLight. So this is going to be the thermostat down in the space. So on board, what this has is it's got temp, humidity, occupancy, CO2, sound, and light level sensors all integrated in this device. And it's got optional particulate matter, so PM 2.5. So we've got a slider. This is a touch slider for turning things up and down or navigating menu screens. And then we've got three dynamic buttons down here. So those are dynamic buttons. They're not a fixed front, back, up, down. It depends on which screen you're on what those buttons do. So when you go to mount this device, you pull it out of the package. The first thing you're going to have to do is remove the face from the back. So to do that, put your finger in the back, in that hole, grip tight, and then pull it apart. And now I get two pieces. I get the front and I get the back board. Let's talk real quick about the front board and what you have. The main thing you need to note is that this box down here in your lower right, now that it's flipped over, this is the connection pin to the backboard. Then over here, if you are going to use that particulate matter sensor, it would slip into this empty space here, and there'd be a little Molex connector that I just plug in here. There's nothing more that you have to do. If you're going to use it, you plug it in, it will automatically recognize it's there. Then you get the backboard. So the backboard, it's got 24 volt input, probably never going to use that. It's got an RS-45 connection if I ever want to treat the HyperStat Split as a standalone controller or connect it to an existing Modbus or BACnet trunk. But primarily the two that you care about are these bottom two, the POR A and B ports. That 2-wire is what's going to connect this device back to my Connect module. So this is in my unit. This is down below, and I'm going to get all of those sensors and the power over that 2-wire, and that can be any existing 2-wire. On the bottom here, what I've got, might be hard to see behind the white plastic, but I've got down here an RTS port, so if I want to use one of those 3-pin Molex connector sensors on the sensor bus, I can daisy chain sensors back to this for averaging occupancy, temperature, humidity, if that's something that you need. So when you're actually mounting this, there's 2 holes vertically and 2 horizontally, and these line up with a single gang junction box. So in either orientation, if you have a roughed-in junction box, you should be able to mount this directly to that junction box. In the bag with the screws, there's a couple of screws in here that you can use if your junction box doesn't have any screws in it, or you can provide your own to mount that there. When it comes to actually terminating wires, again, these are just poke-in style connectors. So if it's solid core, you should just be able to push it in. Does not have to be shielded wire on the POR port. It can be any 2 wires. If it's stranded, sometimes it can help to depress the orange button just a little bit to release the spring, and then you can push in the stranded wire much easier to get a secure connection. That's pretty much it for wiring and mounting. The last thing is you have to put the face back on once this is mounted, and what you really want to do is you want to line up these pins here with the black box terminals there. So you're going to put it on, and I always start in the lower left when I push, and you snap it around the edge until you get a nice seamless finish around the edge where there's no gaps. That's how I know I have a secure connection. The screen's going to light up from there. The one thing I forgot to talk about, I'm just going to mention it quick, as you have the vanity plate, the little plate that can go behind here. If you were going to mount that and you had a hole that you wanted to cover up, this just helps you get a cleaner finish around the edge. So when you mounted it, you just put that around it. With that, these 2 devices are the HyperStat Split.